Lady Marina is too pretty and kind for the likes of Cled. But if you can't stop the hex, Cled will take care of her. Feeding, cheering, scratching behind her ears.
Doll! Find the doll!
Unless you've got useful information, leave me to my work. Duke Stelmane's dead, and I've got to find who killed her.
Duke Stelmane trusted me, and the city trusted her. In life, she was my business partner, back when we ran the Knights of the Shield.
There's a reference to these murders. A certain flair. It's as if they were done in worship.
We let more outsiders in, and more Baldurians die. Duke Stelmane, Father Lorcan, it's no coincidence.
I found a paralytic poison on one of his wounds. Logan was alive while they took the hand. He just couldn't scream.
Oh, help me out here. Help the city out. I bet if you follow the trail of these murders, you will be able to unearth the truth of this resurgence.
I need to move the circus, but I cannot leave just yet. Not without Dribbles. He was a star. I need him back, and I'll shower the person who finds him in love, adoration, and adequate compensation.
There are patriarchs on the murder target list. I'm oathbound to secure them first, so I'll be heading to the upper city next. While I'm there, the other potential victims will be at risk. Could you warn them?
You feel the Emperor's fear as if it were your own. An elder brain enslaved is one thing. An elder brain unleashed will be the end of everything.
Beautiful, isn't it? The mighty Prince Orpheus, contained in submissive slumber. Come. You may as well sit a while, now that you are here. Your company isn't unwelcome.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Cinderellimouse and today we're playing Baldur's Gate 3 and we're going to be investigating the murders in Act 3. So going over here we have investigate the murders, find the victims of the bar list target list. Gauntlet Devella is convinced the target list we found is linked to a wider bar list plot. She asked us to follow the people noted on the list, save them if possible, and get more information about the bar list cult. So if we have a look at the list, which Dirge is conveniently carrying around in this bunny rabbit here, I think it's this one, Bloodstained Parchment. Stelmane we've investigated, that's where we met, like the detective. Father Logan was at the Temple of Ilmater, we kind of met him, we investigated that. Dribbles the Clown, we've been kind of still investigating that because we're finding like the pieces of him all over the city. Alexander Rainforest, office near the counting house, Lower City, so we can make our way over there. But the ones that I want to look at today are going to be Frank Peartree, abode near Fogger's Fireworks, Lower City, killed. Now he's already been killed, this note says, but we did discover his house in the last video, so we're going to go and check that out. Then possibly Cora Highbury, because it says that she's near us. It says large home near the Baldur's Mouth Gazette, Lower City, so she must be close by. And then also Chef Rover, Elf Song Tavern Kitchen at Lower City, and then who knows where the day is going to take us, because some of you may know what the pink wig means. Yeah, we'll close out the episode there. So far with Dribbles, we've got his hand and we've got his torso, so we're still on the lookout for more parts. So yeah, I think without further ado, and I haven't long rested either, so this is a continuation of like what Cordia was doing yesterday, same day. So the Baldur's Mouth Gazette hasn't updated yet. We can't kind of buy the newspaper yet, so that is a job for the next video, I think. Today I'm going to go to Basilisk's Gate, and my team for investigating the first part of the murders in this episode is going to be Dirge, Karlach, Astarion and Minthara. I think I've got a pretty strong team.
The easy path.
So let's head over here and keep an eye out for companion dialogue.
So, what's it like caring for someone other than yourself, Minthara?
You have never tried it, I assume.
Gods no. It sounds like a lot of work.
It takes less work than you devote to maintaining your foppish facade. And it's far more rewarding.
I think that's why I resonate a little bit more with Minthara than Astarion, because Astarion is all charm and manipulation and, you know, appearances, which is very false, right? Which means that you never really feel like you can trust somebody like that fully. Where Minthara, she's so upfront and she will say it like it is. Like, she will speak whatever she's thinking. And I kind of like that, because you know where you stand with people like that, you know? Yeah, that feeling of manipulation is not the best. But let's head around here. There's something else I missed as well. At the back of the kind of, is it Flop House? Nortel's Hostel. If I come over here, there is a little secret thing hiding down here.
That might be worth a look.
But I just want to show it you just because it's there. Hey, mouthy friend. So, mouthly friend. So, probably someone from the Baldur's Mouth. A couple of my colleagues confirmed your timely tip, so I've decided to go on holiday for a while. I've left you a little something in gratitude. Scarai. So, yeah, they were probably, and it's like a little ring. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to leave it. Even though there's no love lost between us and the Baldur's Mouth Gazette, it's only one ring. It might be sentimental to somebody. We don't need it. I'm just going to leave that there. But yeah, it seems like they've had a bit of a tip-off that maybe things are a bit serious with the Absolutist army.
I must.
There's this here as well, this bag. I'm not sure if we checked this last time or not. It's just got a few lockpick kits in, but we don't need those.
Down the stairs.
Yeah, and then heading back down here, this is the little house that Cordia came across in the last video. So, area under investigation.
Maintain your distance. Area under active investigation by order of the Flaming Fist.
So they've just walked past, so that gives us a minute to kind of
the
poke
humble
around.
Home of Frank Peartree.
Frank Peartree, that's the guy on the list. Let's look at the mailbox. A soul coin? Karlak, do you want to eat that? So that's a bit worrying that there's a soul coin. Karlak, do you want to do the honours and break your way through here? Let's listen out for the Flaming Fist coming back though. It was yellow, it wasn't red, so we kind of can do this. Nobody's stopping us, but yeah. He is indeed deceased, unfortunately for him.
What's that?
Okay, everybody's failing the perception check, but I know what it is. It's this trapdoor here. Okay, let's have a look at poor old Frank. What's the deal with you, Frank? What were you up to? Bloodied note. This sounds like it might be from Orin. It sounds a little bit like the way she speaks. The scrap of bloody paper. Well, actually, we know that it wasn't Orin that killed him, though, was it? I think it was the dwarf that killed him. The scrap of bloody paper is scrawled in an erratic, excitable hand. You've been picking where you shouldn't, Peartree, placing the lordlings' fire spitters throughout my city. Disgusting. They leave no blood. There's no art to it at all, just burnt ash and corpse cinder. I walk through your basement here as I pen this. It's rather large, roomy. They'd never find all the bits of you if I spread them out here properly. So yeah, there's this thing with Orin and her followers of making murder creative, making it a performance, making it an art form. Canonically in the game, Dirge is a little bit more straightforward. He's a little bit more Hitman style, do the job, get out of there. Like, it doesn't matter how you do it as long as it's done. So yeah, there's a difference in method here with them. And sorry if you can hear a little bit of banging, it's my eldest next door. She's got a little bit of a cough. Okay, let's keep looking around here. It was her prom yesterday, so she's just recovering from that. So here we go, bloodstained parchment. Messy splatters of deep red brown adorn this scrap of parchment. Those wishing to face the Dreadlord's tribunal and enter the Temple of Baal must slay the targets on this list and frame the corpses as a murder by the cult of the Absolutes. So it's not the Absolutists, it's the Baalists. Bring the victim's hands as proof of killing, walk in blood aspirant. But also, Orin is connected to the Absolute, and Gortash's plan to spread fear throughout the city. So, you know, even though it's the Baalists doing it, they want to tag it with the Absolute's name because that's the spin that they're putting on this, I guess. But yeah, this is pretty much the same list that we have, so we don't need it twice. I'm going to leave it here because obviously the more people in Karlach, it's now the time for dancing. You're stood in this poor man's blood. Yeah, I think, you know, hopefully we get a good Flaming Fist who's also on the matter, so we're going to leave that there. I don't think I need to steal his shabby clothes. Have a look in the mirror, Dirge. What do you think of yourself at the moment?
Still me, even after everything.
He's just peering through the folding screen at himself. What else do we have here? Oh, a key. Peartree's hatch key. We'll take it. The gate is closed. I'll open this and show it you, but I think we've read this several times. You can just pause if you want to read it for yourself. What's this one? The Annals of Baldur's Gate. Again, I'm just going to kind of open that, let you read it if you want to. I think these are just decorative books, you know? They're just there to have something in the bookshelves. Something about turnips and Boulder Run. I might send that to Will. He likes that sort of thing. And Baldur's Gate and the Dialects of Plunder. Yeah, I think we've read this already. So again, you can just have a read of that if you want to. Okay, going down the hatch then. Let's move this traveller's chest out the way and see what's down here. There are bloodstains leading down the hatch, so it's probably not good. And again, gore warning, this is kind of gross. You know, obviously the Baalists are not pretty about their work. But there's this unfortunate man here as well. So this is Courageous Little Kimmerbeth?
That corpse is huge. And is that a burning heart?
Does appear that way, Dirge, yeah. He's got a longsword +1 in him, but again, that's not any better than anything we've got. So, oh look here, Clown's severed arm. So Dirge can pick that up and add that to his collection.
Dribbles, no doubt.
Yeah, okay. We're piecing him back together. So again, like at the Circus of the Last Days, the clown, not the shapeshifter that we fought, the real Dribbles the clown was murdered and everybody loved him, and the lady who is running the circus has basically said, if you bring all his pieces back to me, I'm a necromancer, I can revive him. So we're kind of on that quest. Read this, what does this say? The effigy of Yaga Shura who burned his mortality. Oh, this is from Orin. What use his heart? He thought himself a titan, but died whispering for his mother. Below is an exaggerated signature written in blood, Orin the Red. Lovely. We'll take it as evidence. So there's some camp supplies here if you want some of these. I wouldn't trust anything that Orin has been near, to be honest. I don't think the quality is nice when Orin's around. What have we got here? Secret Societies of the Sword Coast Exposed. Again, we've read this back in Act 2, I think, so we don't need to read that again. There's some stuff here to do with like devils, a guide to Avernus, one hellish holiday, an Archduke's leadership surveillance, so that's Gortash prioritizing surveillance in this book. You know, we know he prioritizes different things in different books depending on who he's talking to. That man's probably a Gemini, or he's got Gemini placements. That kind of manipulation, that is the work of somebody with the planet Mercury in their chart. The Hell's Unleashed. So there you go. Again, just a little bit of world building, a little bit of D&D lore there if you are interested in reading those. But yeah, interesting all this. Oh, somebody else here as well. Cassie Waynestown. Sorry, Cassie. Wrong place at the wrong time, I guess. So I wonder what their deal is. Are they like occultists or Soul Coins, a treaty? Again, we've read that so many times. And this thing that talks about making deals with devils and which devil to bargain with and what for. So I don't know if this is like a setup or if they were kind of warlocks possibly. Can I examine him? It just says he was a level 1 human. It doesn't say that he was a warlock or anything like that. So let's keep exploring. There's another room back here that we can go in. Metal door. Okay, we might have some information here. Let me just, so we've got a heavy crossbow, shields, everything looks like standard stuff. So enhanced weapons sales ledger. So they were blacksmiths, I guess. Maybe they were selling weapons. Maybe it was arms dealing. That was the whole theme of like Baldur's Gate 1 was arms dealing. This ledger, hang on, excuse me. This ledger records acquisitions and sales in Gortash's infernal weapons trade. Ah, so that's why it was talking about the Hells. Because we know that he was dealing with the Hells because he sold Karlach to Zariel. Infernal iron acquired from diabolic sources. And he uses the infernal iron for the steel watch. Like, that's what they're made out of. Because when we kill them, we get, like, the enhanced infernal iron. Use thereof in forging enhanced arms and armor, the steel watch, and sales and distribution throughout Gortash's network and to other wholesalers such as the Zhentarim and the Knights of the Shield. Okay, the final entry is as follows. Note for Lord Gortash. So this is, right, the Knights of the Shield is topical, so remember this. Note for the other reference that we have for them so far is that they were protecting Duke Stelmane, and there was a letter to her saying the knights had kind of been disrupted and disbanded. You're on your own. So it sounds like the knights have kind of fallen, possibly through Gortash's scheming. Maybe this is what he wanted to happen. Maybe they were in opposition to him. The Knights organization appears to be collapsing, there you go, and sales to them are in steep decline. However, this is more than made up for by the shipments to our new contacts in ARM, and the Athkatla receipts next month should make everyone happy. Pear Tree. So yeah, he's an arms dealer, and it sounds like Zhentarim, Knights of the Shield, Gortash, it sounds like he just sells to the highest bidder. So maybe not a good man. Maybe we don't care too much that he was killed. But I wonder why he was targeted. My gratitude from Gortash. Dear Mr. Peartree, our business proceeds without fault and with lucrative profits. You will find this success reflected in the upcoming deposit to your personal account. Should you continue to be such a willing tool, I can see many more deposits of similar magnitude making the way into your coffers in future. I saw you spent the last payment with exceptional wisdom. Your new abode in the lower city is rather lovely. Men of both means and taste are exceedingly rare these days. So Gortash is piling on the flattery because this person is particularly useful to it. So like in a similar way where he was kind of trying to ally himself with us because he saw Orin as a threat and he doesn't like her, right? She's very rough around the edges. He sees her as kind of like a what's the word, like a problem, a liability. You know, she's too random for him, because Gortash is very logical and very scheming, right? And so like Orin is kind of a threat to him because she's so random and not controllable. So he sees Dirge as the better option in terms of like who he's partnering with in the Temple of Baal, because Dirge is more clinical and logical and efficient and predictable and reliable. So he was laying on the charm with Dirge because Dirge is more useful to him than Orin. So again, I wouldn't trust this guy as far as I can throw him. I would be so distraught were you to lose this beautiful home to a terrible accident of fate. That is a threat. It's not even a veiled threat. That's an obvious threat. Discretion is a key pillar of our continued home ownership, after all. Again, discretion. He's like, keep things quiet, you know? You need not respond to this letter. I will write if you are needed further. Yours in faith, ended with Gortash. So I don't know if Gortash put his name on the list because he was being a little bit too loud, maybe drawing a bit too much attention to things that Gortash wanted to keep under the rug, or if Orin put him on the list because she knew that it would annoy Gortash. I don't know, like, interesting. I'm curious. I'm going to pick these up though because I think it's important, like evidence, and we are collecting the evidence as we kind of Sherlock Holmes our way around this place. So nothing too interesting in here. Again, if you are really short on weapons, there's a long sword and things like that, but nothing too great. A little bit of stuff in here which I guess we'll take, and then there is this strong box here, this safe, which I guess Dirge lockpick is pretty good with the old lockpicking kit. There we go. I think we've done that. Easy. 26. Let's go. And again, nothing too interesting in here. If you are using soul coins, I never use them. I know they're for Karlach. Maybe they're an awesome thing to use. Maybe they give you the edge. I just don't remember to use them. I don't know. I don't think I've ever once used a soul coin. But I'm going to send those to Karlach anyway, just in case I decide I randomly want to start using them. And then you get some okay armor. Again, if you're desperate, this could be okay. Maybe you can sell it for a bit of money, but the stuff we've got is a lot better, so I'm not too bothered about that. I think there could have been something more interesting in there, to be fair. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that we wanted to investigate in here. I think we can probably head over to the next person on the list. And the next person on the list... Oh, they're talking about Figaro's. He's on the list. We need to head to him eventually as well. So yeah, the next person on the list is going to be Cora Highberry. So let me open this up. Yeah, so she's currently still alive as far as we're aware. Large home near the Baldur's Mouth Gazette, Lower City. I'm also going to pop, if I just open that up again, the clown's arm in my little rabbit of goodies. And I'm going to save... Okay, so let's sneak out of Frank's house. The Steel Watch don't appear to be around, so not that they stop you anyway. I don't think we are prevented from going in there, but
I'm going to ask.
What's wrong with you, man? Why is Minthara all like foggy looking?
The city is full of criminals.
Covert critical. As long as the affected entity remains obscured, the number it needs to roll a critical hit while attacking is reduced by 1. Okay, I don't know what's causing that. Again, I always get overwhelmed by the time I get to Act 3, so I don't even know what equipment they have at this point. I probably should have thought about that before I go into doing this, because I probably need like the heavy hitter stuff on them. I probably need like their best equipment on them, but let's have a quick look at them. I think they're all kind of okay, to be honest. I've got some bombs and fireworks here if Karlach decides to use them. Yes. Minthara, she's looking pretty slick in Kethric's armor. What have you got on? You've got your bard things on. Perhaps we could change Astarian's clothes to something a little bit more useful. When obscured, I think we're okay. I think I'm going to stick with what we've got. He's got his bardic hat as well. Yeah, no, I think he's alright. I think I'm just going to stick with what he's got, to be honest. When the wearer has 50... Yeah, we're good. We've got this. I'm not worried.
Some time and then...
but yeah, this might be the place, because this is definitely a large home next to the Elf Song Tavern and next to the Baldur's Mouth Gazette. So I think this might be the place we're looking for. Also, really good place for camp supplies. If you're a bit short and you don't want to be drinking the suspicious poisoned drinks that Orin left behind in that basement, maybe you want to come over here and just grab a few ingredients. Because apparently the person who owns this house is very generous.
I'm rather enjoying the white. Maybe you should give it a try.
He does appear to be enjoying the white, doesn't he? Maybe he's had one too many. Again, all this is like free to take. You can just help yourself if you're short of camp supplies. On tour.
Glorious summer's day, is it not? Perfect, in my opinion, for a light, refreshing tipple.
So my dad used to be he ran his own business and he was a cider maker, an award-winning cider maker. And he used to do a lot of like beer festivals and like food and drink festivals and markets. So this feels familiar. Definitely as well, people wanting to come up and have like free samples. And we've got Flary.
There's some rather lovely vintages out today. I'd get in quick if I were you.
So my graphics card struggles a little bit when we get to Act 3 just because there's so much to render. Also, my computer is full of files at the moment. I'm a bit worried about having enough space to actually record this. I need to have like a bit of a cleanup of my files. I've got like a lot of things that I'm juggling. And also it's really hot here as well. Like they're like a nice summer's day. I'm like, bring the snow. I miss feeling cold. I'm too sweaty in the UK at the moment. So here we go, the wine festival.
Why, yes,
let's have a
Edward.
chat.
Can I call you
The wine here is good. Can't say the same of the immediate company.
Well, I am Dirge. I'm definitely not good. Okay.
I'm afraid I can't talk. I need to focus on this wine. It's rather complex.
Okay. I mean, that's a better way to describe Dirge. Complex. We've got Pud. Hello, Pod. Oh, Pod.
Excuse me. Your unwashed stink is putting me off my wine.
I showered yesterday, I'll have you know. Lud.
A fine festival indeed, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I like their outfits as well. I like the colour of these. It's kind of tonal, it's kind of subtle. They're very classy.
If you've not tried Master Metzli's wines yet, I hear they're lovely.
I will be sure to partake. I did stuff some in my bag a minute ago. How about over here? Hello. Dave Hosmo. That's a very normal name for a Baldur's Gate
I have
game.
something to ask. Have you heard what those refugees have been up to? Murder. And worse.
I'm the one that's doing the murdering around here, I'll have you know. All for a good cause. Jason Borgu.
You know, festivals like this give me a bit of hope. Everyone's so happy.
Oh, I like her. She's cute. And we've also got Zinfandel Gorse. Great name.
You know, they're just giving out free wine here, calling it a sample. Very cosmopolitan.
Very generous of the person running it as well, I would say. Okay, let's have a look at if we're at the right house. Highbury Home. Yes, this is it then. Cora Highbury.
Highbury Townhouse.
Let's have a look in the mailbox. Okay. Preparations. Prepared! So this is by somebody called Ontur. Sorry, I feel like I've got lipstick on my teeth. Okay. Like, what's my posh voice? Let's go deep and like an army colonel to the Highbury house. Stock is exactly where it needs to be. All preparations have been perfectly fashioned. Just so. Weather is looking lush. The festival's going to be a beautiful day for a bottle, mark my words. Once we're finished, we'll make sure to leave our agreed percentage in a secure location nearby for distribution to charity. Been an absolute pleasure working with you both. Best, Ontur. So they seem like good people. They've got this wine festival on the go, which again, they are very rich, you know, so they are doing this for kind of the fancy people, kind of like fiddling while Rome burns kind of thing. It's kind of like providing entertainment, providing good vibes during a hard time. They don't seem to be restricting the wine either to any specific people. It's not like it's for patriarchs only. It does seem like anyone can walk up and have some. Nobody's being visibly turned away. But yeah, they do seem like they're doing something good, right? They're like, we have money, our friends have money, we're going to put on this party, any takings we can redistribute to charity. Yeah, they seem legit so far. Gift note. Dearest Cora and Roger, what a pity that I cannot make it to your celebration. I've sent my best aged wine in my stead, that you may celebrate without me. Store it in the basement and it'll age like, well, you know, with greatest regards, Hoops. So Hoops couldn't attend, but she sent her finest vintage, apparently. Hers, his, I don't know who they are. A letter scrawled in an unsteady, lopsided hand. Lovely home you've got here, Miss Highbury. Lovely husband. Lovely orphans in your care. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Perfectly lovely. You take care now. She's even looking after orphans. She's got orphans in her house. This seems like a good woman. She seems like the mum in bloody Mary Poppins. Oh, look here, some kids. Let's actually check this out, though, because you never know. I don't want to kind of get in trouble by clicking on something I shouldn't. But, yeah, let's just see if this is legit, because these might not be orphans. These might be shapeshifters. Hello, Molly the orphan.
Have you seen him? Have you seen my dad?
Well, it depends. Who is your dad?
His name is Yatsik. He's a super brave knight. We came here together, but he had to leave. He said that Cora would look after me. She's really nice, but I miss Dad.
There's a sadness in her voice that betrays a wisdom beyond her years. She knows her father's not coming back.
Okay. Like, we can be mean. I don't think there's any need. I think the most appropriate one for Dirge would be, because again, he's softening. He's talking to a kid. He's not intentionally being mean. He's learning empathy, but he's still quite practical. So he's going to say, your dad sounds like a good man.
He is. I miss him. But I'm glad he left me with Cora. She's really nice. She looks after all the kids who've got nowhere to go. She's helping me write down all of my dad's stories so everyone will know how brave he is.
Oh, she seems really nice. Like, she's writing down her dad's stories. That's what I do when, like, you know, someone passes away, or like a pet. Like, I remember doing this with one of our cats, and the kids were really young and they were really upset, and I was like, okay, we're gonna make like a memory book. So we're gonna like tell the stories that we remember of this stupid. He was a stupid cat. He got up to all sorts, and you know, we'll put pictures in it. We'll write about him. We'll draw pictures of him, and it's just a really nice way of remembering the person and keeping those memories fresh, and just also the cathartic process of doing that. So again, if you've ever got like young kids and they're grieving or they're having a hard time, like doing something like a memory book's so helpful, just for processing and not ignoring those emotions and remembering the good things, right? Okay, Timmy the orphan.
Are you an orphan too?
Not exactly, but Karlak is. Karlak's probably vibing with this situation. She's probably like, I remember being an orphan. So Dirge is not an orphan. His dad is the god Baal, the god of murder, but I don't think we need to tell the child. No, I'm not.
Oh, lucky you. I miss my parents, especially Mum. She made the best apple pie.
Aww. We should see if we've got an apple pie anywhere for this kid. This is a very cordial response. My friends are all the family I need. Do you have friends? Can you imagine if he said no and you're like, oh, maybe you should make some. I'm looking really sweaty today. I'm so warm. I think Dirge would just say, sorry, kid. That's hard.
Cora says it'll get better with time. She's not Mum, but she does give good hugs. She makes a really good pot roast. Don't tell anyone I said this, but I actually think it might be better than Mum's.
Sorry, I was doing like the TikTok thing. This kid is all about the food. Like, the way to this kid's heart is through his stomach. Do I happen to have any apple pie? I don't. I could give him cheese or wine. And do you know what? Good for her as well. Like, she's got the kids inside the house while this like wine festival's going on. Right, I want to have a poke at this book though. So let me go in turn-based mode and be sneaky.
Out of sight.
Because I want to see what this is here. Because why is it like red? Sorry. Again, lipstick on my teeth. A modest guide to Sword Coast wine. A sommelier's like a wine, fancy wine person. A sommelier's guide to wines found along the Sword Coast. It extols the virtues of Beduscan Dark and Arabellan Dry. Arabella? The sinuous fruity flavours of ruby red Elvaquist and the throat-slamming notes of red Dragon Crush, snatched from the hands of charming Vistani tradesfolk. I'm currently selling red Dragon Crush in one of my D&D games, in like the bar that they're in. And Vistani as well. Vistani, that's a reference to I've got it down here, Curse of Strahd. Thayan vintages as richly hued as the robes of their red wizards, pale saloon and glowfire, and it praises these with the same vigour that it declaims the inferior mulled wines such as Tsar and Daggerfold Clary, which the authors claim are suitably for consumption as bugbear taint. Okay, bugbear taint, that sounds smelly. Yeah, what I love about this game so much, and I'll never stop singing the praises, is how much research they went into D&D lore. Like, you know, because they got it so right. You know, they really, really did look at so many different references and so many existing just notes on the world building that came before them through the books and the games and all the D&D stuff that has existed before, and they've really, really done the research, and it's so unnecessary as well. Like, so many people are just not going to read that book or like just scan read it, and I kind of want to see what's in here. Okay, there's some cool stuff. Again, we're not looking to rob her, I'm just being nosy. Yeah, and the fact that they went through and like put so much effort to put all this lore in the game is just incredible. A book advising merchants on trade routes by one Roger Highbury, and everything feels like it's in its place as well. Nothing feels like it's kind of like, here's a random note floating in the world somewhere and you read it and it just gives you, it just regurgitates random lore at you. Everything is like built into the setting. Everything is like a character is reading this book and it tells you more about the character because this is what they're interested in. Do you see what I mean? It's like intrinsic to the environment. It's not just there to be there. It's not just a collectible along the way. It's realistic to an environment. A book advising merchants on trade routes by one Roger Highbury. Now you'd be forgiven for thinking I've made it on the... Now you'd be forgiven for thinking I've made it on the coastway. It's plain sailing to Baldur's Gate from here, but that's where you'd be wrong, my friend. While it only spans from Bear Coast to the Great Gate itself, the coastway is more tricksy than you'd expect, and it's a prime spot for ne'er-do-wells and ruffian types to prey on upstanding mercantile folk on account of the Cloakwood's proximity. The rest of the writing continues in a similarly ambling but ultimately helpful manner. So he's intending to be helpful. And again, like upstanding mercantile folk, I mean, a lot of the mercantiles are these kind of guilds, like criminal guilds, so I don't know about that, mate. I'm going to keep exploring the house a little bit, and again, we're just checking that she is who she says she is, that there's nothing shady going on here. Merchant's Almanac, the trade way. The kids are currently looking at me, so I guess I'm not looking at that yet. She's got a kitchen here that appears to be quite well stocked. Again, they're fortunate, but there's a trapdoor here as well, but again, I'm not looking to kind of create trouble with these guys. Yeah, I don't know, they seem like good people, you know, they realise that they're privileged and they're using that privilege to kind of help people. So a nice bathhouse here, she's keeping the kids clean. and cared for. What's this here? Oh, there's 2 letters. My thanks, Cora. Oh, so this is from the guy. This is the kid's dad, Jackek, and the one that we said was a good man. A letter penned on official flaming fist parchment. So I guess he was like signing up. Thank you, Cora, for taking Molly under your wing. I wish there was another way that I could stay and look after her myself, but when the fist calls, I have to answer. I'll be back before you know it, I'm sure. I've got Ershin looking out for me, after all. Yours vigilantly, Jack. Jackek? I can't say his name. Tear-stained letter. So fist Ershin. Okay, so it says that Ershin is the guy who's got Jackek's back, and then this is from Ershin. A letter penned on official flaming fist parchment. Tear stains lightly block its ink. Dearest Cora, I've tried to write this twice now, and I think it's best be plain. Jackek is dead. So the kid was right. He said he just knew he was dead. But I mean, the kid could have come up here and read this himself. Drow and hobgoblins tore through our ranks, burnt Joaquin's Rest to ash. So Joaquin's Rest is where we rescued Councillor Floric all the way back in Act 1, and where Will's dad was taken from. Whatever you tell Molly, just make sure she knows her daddy's the bravest man who ever lived, which I guess is why she's writing those stories. May Helm watch over your hearth and home. So I don't want this lady to die. She seems like a really, really good sort. You know, she seems like a really nice person. We've got this bedroom here as well, which, again, nothing particularly. I'm not looking to rob her, but I'm just kind of poking around a little bit. What's in here? Yeah, we'll just kind of leave it as we find it. Let's go back down. Where's the front of this building? Here. We'll go back down and we'll see if we can find Cora. And I'm probably going to save, actually, because this can go a little bit wrong. I'm quite determined to save Cora. Here she is, Cora and Roger, with a suspicious dwarf in red, which fits the description of the murderer. So yeah, I'm gonna save, and then we'll see exactly what's going on here. Where is everybody? So we've got Minthara there, Astarian's over there, Karlak's there. Okay, I think we're good.
Why, hello there. We were just about to try some of Master Metzley's delightful wines. Would you care to join us?
Oh, they do look ever so tasty.
Ah, Mrs. Highbury, I prefer to conduct tastings individually, so I may assess your palate.
Call me Cora, Master Metzley. And I'm afraid I must insist on their joining us. Wine's no good without company, after all.
The wine scent is almost sickly sweet, with an acrid note just on the periphery. Poison.
Okay. So, in testing, I consistently failed that medicine check, so I had a different plan for what I was going to do. We can say, I think it's only polite that we let Master Metzley drink first, or should I say, Dolor. This could go wrong. I think I'm inclined to say, I don't know. Let's see what happens if we do 6. I'm worried that he's going to kill Cora, though. If he does, I'm going to re-roll, because again, it's my perfect playthrough. I want a specific outcome. I think it's only polite that we let Master hang on, let me get his name right. I think it's only polite that we let Master Metzley drink first, or should I say, Dolor.
No. Who on earth is Dolor?
I must say, if this is a practical joke, it's not very amusing.
Uh-oh.
It was perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. You have sullied it with knowledge.
I've got a tendency to do
made
that.
it an unclean sacrifice. I will remember your face. And I will peel it from your skull, should you interfere again.
Children are safe.
Okay, alright, okay. So this is the real Dolor. He went first in initiative. We've got 4, like, copycats, 4 shapeshifters. I can't click on them at the moment because this is here, but this is pause time, so it's just giving me a second. So we've got basically 3 people, 3 of those people that we talked to here and the person who is over here have all transformed. So they're shapeshifters who were in disguise, working in cahoots with Dolor. Cora and Roger are currently running, which is good because there is a situation where Dolor can just immediately kill them as soon as, like, you exit the cutscene. So I think they're running away. I think we're good. It seems like he's trying to escape because it says Dolor casts Boots of Dimension Door on themselves. So he's basically trying to make a run for it. So I can try to stop him from doing that because, I mean, if I had the Staff of Counterspell, that would have been good. But if he does get away, it does mean we get more Dolor content later. But we might be able to stop him here as well. So I'm going to try Psionic Backlash. No, he's gone. He's gone. That's okay. That is okay because it does mean I can't see him on the map either. Oh, there he is. Is that him running? No, that's Cora. She's inside the house. She's okay. All right. So now we just have to deal with the shapeshifters. So we've got, oh my goodness, this is going to be tricky. We've got 1, 2. So this one here and this one here are going to go first. So, Astarion, what can we do here? I've got my sneak attack. I can also maybe take a poison or put Hunter's Mark on. 1d6, an extra 1d6 damage with Hunter's Mark. I can do Ensnaring Strike. Possibly ensnare your target. That might be good. Yeah, let's use a level 2 Ensnaring Strike on this guy here. Disadvantage path isn't... Why is it disadvantage? Okay, can I get it on this guy? Why is it disadvantage? Can't have disadvantage against target. In that case, let me try maybe blinding shot on this guy. Or I could do a smoke powder arrow, but that is gonna create havoc. Let's bane them. 1, 2, 3. 3 of you. Oh, I can do 4 of them? Okay, 4 of you are baned. Target too far. 3 of you are baned. Oh god. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I just go in. Maybe I just start swinging. I'm just going to go in with a sneak attack, hopefully, on this guy. For some reason, I can sneak attack. I don't know why, because it said I had disadvantage, but apparently now I have advantage, so I'm just going to do it. Sneak attack. Okay. Quickening Incantation. What does that mean? You can cast Illusion and Enchantment spells as a bonus action. Well, I just might. But first of all, I'm going to do Dread Ambusher. Melee attack. Or do I try and disarm him? Disarming attack. Weapon dropped. Okay. He's dropped his weapon, so I'm going to go for this guy next. Can I get over to him? Okay. I'm just going to fire my arrow. It's disadvantage for some reason. Provokes attack of opportunity. Right, I'm just going to... In that case, do you know what? I'm going to first of all do... People are just chatting around me. I'm going to do Dissonant Whispers. Okay, he's frightened, so now he might be at disadvantage. No, I'm still at disadvantage. I don't know why. I'm just going to do it anyway. Okay, missed. God damn it. but I can do another bonus action. So I'm going to do another Dissonant Whispers, level 2. Okay. He's doubly frightened. Have I got something else I can do? No, we're all good. Okay. Let's hold our breath, see what happens. This guy's dropped his weapon, so I'm not too worried about him. I don't think he's going to be able to do as much damage. A bit worried about him, but he's frightened, so he can't come closer to me. Okay. Morphic Ambush. Oh, he's using claws. Okay. I'm okay, though. And he can't come closer to me. Okay. Perfect. Minthara, I think it's time for you to clean up, baby girl. Let's just go in swinging. Let's Divine Smite, level 2. I'm not messing around, and we're going to go for this guy here. Nice. Oh, I was hoping I could one-shot him. Okay. Let's go for a big one on him. Okay. Action Surge. Divine Strike. Let's go again. Oh, she missed. Damn it. Honestly, in testing, she absolutely cleaned up. He's still standing with 4 hit points. Incredible. Well, do you know what? I am gonna do a howl that numbs all nearby creatures. I think that includes my allies, though, so that might not be my best move. I should have done Vow of Enmity in the first place, but I'll do it now. We're good.
Never a dull moment.
Is there going to be anyone left for Karlach, I wonder? Let's use our sword on the guy in front of us, maybe. No, this guy? Yeah. Okay. Do you know what? They've got some hit points to them, haven't they? Let's do Booming Blade on this guy. Okay. Third is now invisible, which means I could potentially do a sneak attack, but on my next turn. But I'm just going to go ahead and keep wailing on these guys. Booming Blade again. It's unnecessary. They don't have that many hit points. I'm going to save it and just jab him. Nice. And again, this guy. Boop. Okay. Love of my life, Karlach. Fire of my heart. Do you want to finish that guy off?
Let's cut with fire, baby.
He's like, abso-freaking-lutely. Let's do our Brutal Leap right onto him.
Eat it.
Eat it. Eat my boots. Oh, the camera angle could have been better there. And yeah, I guess we're just going to start hitting him.
Damn it. We need to stop him before he strikes again.
Absolutely. We are on his tail. Okay, let's have a look at what these guys had on them. He had some boring daggers. A promising candidate. Shallow Coal. Interim report. Interim report. The Scarred Dwarf is a promising candidate for unholy assassin. Yeah, because he's murdering all these people because he wants to join the cult of Baal. Though he is personally crude, his methods of homicide are artistic and even innovative. He has set up a deadly wine festival to eliminate his next target, and I, for one, will be observing it closely. Shallow Coal. And then we have a key to the Tombstone Shop Key. So if we find Candle Hallow's Tombstone Shop Key, that could be something interesting for us. And Karabasan's Gift, which is a strong paralytic poison. Okay. So glad we stopped them, because again, they could have poisoned more people. We should probably check this wine. It doesn't say it's poison, does it? I don't know. I think maybe we'll let Cora call in the Flaming Fist to deal with that.
What's inside?
And yeah, nothing in him there. How are these glasses? Wine. It doesn't say any of them are poison, so
if not over,
yeah, that's
then through.
That's a job for Cora, I guess. But let's go and check in with her. Hi.
We should look into some protection.
That's certainly the last wine festival we'll be hosting.
Okay, so she wants to look into protection. Do you know what? girly, we've got your back. You'll be fine.
What's up for discussion?
I still can't believe... Why would anyone want to kill me? Thank you for saving us.
You're welcome, Cora. You are a very nice lady. We stopped Cora from drinking poisoned wine, saving her life. I think the reason why they wanted to kill her is because they're trying to spread fear. So if they kill somebody who's very loved, like very popular, she's always hosting these festivals and things and these parties, you know, people really think highly of her. She does a lot of good. They're doing it kind of as a warning and as an example of kind of like, oh, if you stand out, if you do too much good, you're going to become a target yourself. So again, it's that disruption thing. Timmy, are you okay?
Thank you for saving Cora. Thank you. Thank you.
It's okay. I'll give you some tips so that you can look after her yourself, you know?
Perhaps we should...
Thank you for helping Cora. I couldn't do any of this without her.
Like you too, you know? Grow up big and strong like your dad, you know? Protect the people you love. Roger.
I still can't believe... Why would anyone want to kill me? Thank you for saving us.
Okay, apparently Roger doesn't want to talk. Cora jumped in front of him. Fine. All right, let's keep moving then. So I think that is pretty much it for this little team. But yeah, I'm probably going to jump over to Cordia now for a little bit for this next section. So let's send Dirge back to camp. I don't think anyone has anything to say about that either, so which is a bit disappointing. I like it when companions like have, you know, a reaction to things, but I don't think they do there. But Cordia, let's send your team. Cordia's team today is Cordia, Gale, Shadowheart, and Lae'zel, and I'm going to send them out to Basilisk's Gate as well. Technically speaking, what I imagine happened is they've just come out into the elf song, but...
I heard a curious sound in the night. What would you know about that, Shadowheart?
Lady Shah permits me to plead ignorance.
I ask not of Lady Shah, but of you and your paramour.
I haven't the faintest idea what you mean. Perhaps a cat pounced on its prey.
Do you know what? A cat did indeed pounce on its prey last night, because my indoor cat, who's a good boy, he's a soft boy, he's the sweetest nature, he has decided he's an outdoor cat now, just randomly after 2 years of having him. He had some trauma, he was a rescue, and he'd been abandoned in a car park in like a cat box, and so he's really scared of traffic and things like that. But honestly, the world is healing, and he's like, do you know what? I want to go outside. And we do have some like grass and like places that are good for cats to explore out in our garden way, and so like it's not all roads kind of thing. There's places for cats, yeah, he's been going out for a couple of weeks now, and this morning there was a mouse just in the house. He brought us a present and he was so pleased with himself. He was like, look, I am providing for the household, everybody eats on me tonight. So the cat indeed did pounce on its prey, this is true. But yeah, Lae'zel said, I heard a curious sound in the night. What would you know about that, Shadowheart? So, I don't know, I guess there's been some Shadowheart snuggles happening. Okay, so there's one more person on that murder list that I want to investigate today, and it is Chef Rover, and he's actually the cook of the elf song, but there's a little bit of lore for him, which is why I'm kind of going around the back way. But before we do, there's also this house here that I wanted to point out to you guys, because again, it's one of those houses that you could potentially just completely miss. There's no reason to go here. But hello? What's the problem with the elf song? Do you remember back in Rivington when we went to the windmill and we found the baby mind flayer that was just being kind of like hatched? And he was like, bring me a dead body, bring me a brain.
This one has only just transformed. It is weak, vulnerable. Its potential ripe for harvesting. Go on, kill it. Absorb its power.
closer. You. What are you? What am I sensing? You are like me. Like I was. A vessel yet to transform. Help me. I am so hungry.
Like, if we'd have done that and let him live, he would have made his way here and murdered everybody inside this house. So I'm glad that we didn't allow him to stay alive, because that would have been bad. But yeah, this is the Armbrust house.
Armbrust house.
So let's have a see what the deal is with these guys. Thank you for dinner. Dearest Tally, thank you again for having us over the other night. I can't tell you how nice it was to just sit around a table, eat... Sorry, I can't speak because the guy's waffling on in my ear. Let me try that again. Dearest Tally, thank you again for having us over the other night. I can't tell you how nice it was to just sit around a table, eat good food and talk again. It feels like the whole world has gone mad, right? Same. You open TikTok and you're like, whoa, what craziness is happening today? So having a normal meal with friends was such a treat, especially for the kids. Speaking of, if you do ever need us to take AO for you, and Tin can have some time, hang on. If you do ever need us to take AO, so you and Time can have some time to yourselves, we'd be more than happy to. I didn't want to pry and risk spoiling the evening, but Time did see a little on edge. Just let us know, and thank you again. Love, Sabine, Freddie and the kids. So they're just normal people, again, kind of wealthy, but you know, living their lives. Again, I need to probably put my headphone back in. Yeah, let's see what their deal is. Hello, we're connected to Constable Deviler, and we're just doing some security checks. Nothing to be concerned about. Hi.
What are you doing here? This is a private home, understand?
Yes, yeah, don't worry. We'll only be here a second. We don't mean to intrude. I mean, I do a little bit. I'm a bit nosy, but...
Hello? I wasn't expecting any guests.
Oh, I love your corset. Why is her skirt prettier than mine? Hello.
Hello. Are you a tax collector? Papa told me I shouldn't talk to them if they showed up.
Okay, so the dad was expecting tax collectors and didn't want the kid to be involved. Whether they didn't want the kid to say something? I mean, they look like they're doing all right for themselves. They don't look like they're struggling. There's a lot of people in Baldur's Gate who are struggling. But, you know, tax can be a nasty thing. Especially, you know, for someone like Gortash, who he's trying to destabilize the upper classes, isn't he? He's trying to seize control. And so anyone who's opposed to him, he's using different techniques to kind of like bring them to heel. And one of the ways that dictators do this is through extortionate taxes. So tax in itself is a really good thing. It just means that those who are able to provide a little bit extra to the city or the local council or whatever are able to pay in so that everybody's kind of covered. It's sort of a like look after your neighbor type thing, because again, if there's people struggling, crime starts to rise, which means that your home is more at risk. So to make sure that everybody is covered, everybody has basic needs met, everybody has resources through taxation, means that your community is going to be happier and healthier, and that's going to be better for you, right? And so it's sort of like a we're in this together type thing. So I am a big fan of like tax when it's done in a good way, but like I say, everything can be used to control if you're a dictator. And so to have crippling unfair taxes is a way to destabilize kind of like the middle and upper classes in a way where, you know, they start to struggle and then they're more easily controlled. So yeah, it's something that you can look at ancient Rome. Augustus Caesar did this. Who else? King John, you know, famously Robin Hood's nemesis. So there's a book here again. I think we've read this, so there's quite a few volumes of that, but I'll open it. You can pause if you want to read it. Tim's Notebook. The journal is filled with sketches of dresses, notes on unusual stitches, and several intricately detailed embroidery patterns. Maybe he made my corset. Sir, did you make my corset? Because it's very pretty, and your wife has one of equally similar beauty.
Something over there.
Okay, we've got a sneaky floorboard back here. Where is the lady? If I... Oh, the kids just come up. But if I crouch here... Yeah, I'm out of sight. I can do this. Move forward a little bit. Let's see what's in here. I'm not planning on robbing them. And I'm not robbing the rich to give to the poor right here. Everybody seems to be struggling under Gortash. Missed payment. Ambrust. My local... Hang on. I'm trying to do... Because it's from Nine Finger Key and I'm trying to do a voice. Ambrust. My organisation helped you with your finances on the understanding that you'd repay your debt promptly. Imagine my disappointment when that debt came due, and instead of a stack of coin, all you sent me was a string of wet excuses. Now, I know that you're an honest man who loves his family, so you'll work hard to put things right between us. But I can't ignore a missed payment. My people will be there tomorrow to collect a late fee, and they'll come back every 10 days until you clear your debt, or they're forced to terminate our contract. I hope I've made myself clear. Keen, Guildmaster. On the back of the letter is scrawled a record of money and treasures squirreled away, slowly increasing but dipping dramatically every 10 days. It never gets close to the total circled at the bottom of the page. Okay, so the tax collectors are actually the criminal guild. He's clearly borrowed some money off the guild at some point, and kind of like the mob right there, being a bit extortionate with the repayments, and, you know, threatening what might happen if they don't continue to pay. So again, these don't seem like bad people. They just seem like they've got themselves into a situation. So they've also got a scroll of disguised self, which, I don't know, seems like it might come in useful if you're hiding from illegitimate, or should I say legitimate businessman but illegitimate tax collectors. I just nearly messed that up entirely through clicking on the wrong thing. Why can't I do this? Oh my god, I'm trying to move this over. Well, and now I need to click this again, God's sake. Right, move this over, and then move this over. There we go. So I'm going to help them out. We've got lots of money. Cordia is very charitable. They have a child. They're dealing with criminals, so yeah, she's going to help them out a little bit here. Let's give them... I want to give them 111, because they've got 11, so we're going to times that by 10 and hope that's enough. There we go. So next time they come to check their supplies, they've got a little bit extra in there. I'm not putting the picture of Gortash in there, because then it looks like he helped them, and he did not. Okay, exit enter, let's stand up. And we were doing nothing. But again, I was checking for absolutists under the bed. You're fine, your home is safe. Good luck to you.
Luke's mark.
Okay, let's move. Shut the gate.
Nice day for a walk.
Shut that door. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here. Right, these guys are talking about Chef Rover, I think.
You eaten at the elf song before? Awful, just awful. I had a stew there once that looked like it had a finger in it.
Oh, well, that's unpleasant. Thank you for the warning.
What would you do with a decapitated head anyway? Not like you could sell
What is this conversation?
I can think of a thing or two. Nothing good, though.
I'm never eating at the elf song again. What if there were bits?
Oh, so clearly they've heard rumours about Duke Stelmane's murder. And there's just like daft rumours going along now about fingers in stews and stuff.
You've got to talk to the locals if you want the true story about Stelmane's death. The Gazette would never print all the juicy details.
I think they would, actually, to be honest. Yeah, so this is just like rumours. This is just people doing what people do and just making stuff up to sound interesting, you know, to have conversation. So if we go around here to the back of the elf song, there are cats to talk to, which I'm excited about, but let's see what this situation is.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just waiting for some food. Then I'll get out of your way.
No, it's fine. If anything, I'm in your way. I'll move along in just a moment.
Oh, I've also got some fruit this time.
I used to be able to pay to eat at this tavern. Now look at me, begging for scraps at the back door.
Right, so people who had money no longer have money. Again, this is this is something that happens either when you've got tyrants or you've got people in politics who are mismanaging funds. People don't have money. But the thing of that, for if you are trying to control a population, is if somebody's worried about where they're going to sleep that night, where their next meal is coming from, whether they're going to be able to pay the rent, whether they're, and they're working like 80 hours a week, they're so tired and worried about menial things like basic needs that they're not thinking about overthrowing a government, right? They're not thinking about, or they might talk about it with their mates, but the actual thought that goes into standing up against tyranny, they don't have time for. So yeah, it's a way of keeping a population on its knees. So yeah, if you want to be proud of where you're from and you want to be proud of your society, you need to make sure people have those basic needs met, because it's a sign of a strong, good society. When people are suffering, it means that some people are taking more than their fair share.
My tummy hurts. I'm really hungry.
And one thing I really, really hate is you get the people who are comfortable, who go, oh, these people just need to get up a bit earlier. They just need to work a bit harder. They just need to get a better paying job. They just need to stop whining and, spend more time, like, I don't know, doing. And it's like, well, that's easy to say when you're in a position of comfort, but when you're desperate for your next meal, like, where are you going to find the time to start applying for jobs? Like, are you just going to starve until you die? Like, it's not that fucking easy. And if you've not been in that situation, you can't talk on what it's like, I just watched the Glastonbury concert with Pulp and Common People, and I love it so much. It's such, because I love the 1995 version of when Pulp performed Common People at Glastonbury, and there's so much passion in the lines of like, you will never understand how it feels to live your life with no means or control, and there's nowhere left to go, and you are amazed that they exist, and they burn so bright, and you can only wonder why, right? It's like, if you've not walked in those people's shoes and you're not listening to what they're saying, and like understanding and having empathy from their point of view, you're never gonna you've got no right to speak on it, and I've been there. I didn't have any money for a while, and my mum, and I wasn't on the streets or anything. I just bought a house, but I had scrimped and saved every penny that I could find, literally down the back of the sofas, to be able to pay for the fees that you have when you buy a house. So I was privileged, right, because I was buying a house. And this is something that I've been trying to do for like 10 years, right? But rents kept rising and the house prices kept going up. So every time I'd saved a little bit of a deposit, the house prices had gone up and I no longer had enough for the deposit. So it was like a horrible loop. But I finally did it. And I borrowed money on my credit card. I borrowed money off my dad, which again is a privilege that I was able to do that. And I was trying to pay all these debts back because I wasn't going to just take money and not pay it back. And so I had no money, and I had a young child, and I was pregnant. And I was just starting a university course, which again I was privileged for because I got that paid for. And my mum used to work in a cafe, and she used to bring the leftovers. So she would bring like tubs of leftover rice that would have gone in the bin so that I could eat. So I have been in this position kind of to an extent. So I know what it's like to be like, I can't afford to eat. I haven't got money for food. Yeah. So have we talked to this person? Great name.
This one's got a heart of gold. I don't know what we'd do without him.
Yeah, so this was my mum, basically. Spatula Fargo was my mum giving me all the leftover rice from the kitchens.
It's not much, but handing out leftovers is the least I can do with the absolute almost upon us.
Yeah. So, good dude.
I don't like giving you what other people have been picking at, but there's a whole chicken someone's only took a leg off. I wouldn't give you anything I wouldn't eat myself.
Oh,
Can I have that, please, sir?
Of course, love. And please don't call me sir. I'm barely even a chef.
You are a good soul, Spatula Fargo. I'm gonna cry. I'd never give you anything I wouldn't eat myself, he
The
said.
cellars are just down the stairs. There, you'll find my old lodgings.
Okay, okay, so we've got Tambourine.
Hello, servant ape. Would you kill those rats, please? Their presence vexes me.
Isn't that your job? You are a cat. Where's the other cat? Here he is, sleeping at the top of the stairs. Zambomba.
Oh, look, Tambourine. A servant comes to help us. Kill those rats, would you? When they're dead, the other servants will feed us.
You could eat the rats. Astarion's not with us. Astarion doesn't like rats. He's got rat trauma.
Rovia burned the bullier base again, and now I have to scrub the pot. Some chef he is.
So there's some debate about whether or not Chef Rover is a good chef or not. Here he is. He's having to sit down. He's having a moment. Chef Rover, your life is in danger. Your name is on the list of murder suspects. I think that's literally the line.
Damn rats. Oi, you. I thought I asked you to clean the rats out of this cellar yesterday already. Hop to it. Get in there.
I think you're mistaking me for somebody else, actually. The rats are unimportant. Your name is on a list of murder targets. You need to hide.
No, I need them rats taken care of. Here's the deal. I'll keep a lookout for murderers. You murder the rats.
I mean, he does have a big axe on his back. I think he might be okay. He's just not taking the murder threat seriously. Maybe people threaten to murder him all the time over his, like, look at you lying around, you furry chonkers, disgraceful. Yeah, maybe he gets threats all the time over bad bully bays. I don't know. I'm going to save again, just in case. It gets so warm. I need to wrap up this episode, but we've got a bit more to do, guys. All right, and let's go. So let's go down the stairs. So the Emperor is saying that this is his old hideout. Jump scare. Like, oh god, like I just hit my desk. Okay, this is great. This is great. This is not a worry, okay? Because we have Shadowheart with us. Now I intentionally brought Shadowheart because she knows what to do in this situation. So I'm gonna come over here and we're gonna go in with a level 3 Spirit Guardians. Here we go. Radiant damage. And this should take care of the rat problem. I love this. It's just so good. Just watch this.
Survival is all that matters.
Again, I just want to make sure I get a good angle here. So here they come. I don't think this is the technique that my cat used on the mouse last night, but end turn. Here they come. They're not the smartest creature. One got a shot on Gale. I have firebombed this entire basement before, but this is the best method. It's the most satisfying method, you know? So there's 4 left, so I'm just going to have Shadowheart just walk forward a little bit, basically. Where's the last one? How are you alive?
Getting close. The wine cellar. There's a hidden door that leads further in.
Okay.
The mechanism to open it is somewhere among the wine racks.
Good to know. Okay. I am gonna, because I haven't long rested since the last episode, and I'm not sure what we have and haven't used fully. So I'm gonna go ahead and short rest just to
get going.
Reactivate anything that is like, you can only do it once per short rest before we go into here, because this is a situation. Now, my eldest, I can't touch these rats because of the way that they were killed, but depending on how they kill them, sometimes you can pick them up. My eldest trolled Astarion. She loves Astarion, favourite character, but she picked up all the rats and put them in Astarion's inventory because she's a bit... No, don't do that! Oops. No traps, please. I hate it when they get me. Again, camp supplies, there's some meat down here, but you know, this guy is feeding Baldur's Gate, basically. He's feeding so many people, so I'm not out here stealing his supplies. If we go through this first room, though...
On the other side, you'll find a passageway, known only to those invited to do business.
I mean, we can take up a little bit of payment, you know, for killing the rats. Just a few bottles for camp. But over here, we've got this button.
That's cute.
Thank you, Gale. And did you see that door open on the other side? So there's these like massive wine barrels, these casks. But the casks are a lie. It's actually a secret passageway into the Emperor's secret basement. And whatever he was up to with Duke Stalemate. Oh! The psionic detector went off. Why would there be Githyanki here? The Kwanzith has been awakened. Vlaakith's forces are near. I'm gonna save again. Okay. And then let's go and do this. I'm gonna actually crouch.
Carefully now.
Because I am not messing around when it comes to Githyanki. Now the problem is, Cordia's level 5 spell slots have gone. Some of Gale's spell slots have gone. So we might be in a little bit of a situation here.
A purpose.
Are you ready for this, Lae'zel?
Sometimes.
I could summon an elemental or two as well. Should we do that? Let's get, just for a bit of safety, because Githyanki can be really dangerous. So yeah, we'll go with the air elemental for Cordia here.
Don't mind if I do.
And then Gale, do you have any spell scrolls? Can you get an elemental out as well? Again, just for a little bit of extra safety here. A little bit of, you know, an advantage going into these. I don't see any spell scrolls for that purpose, but we should be able to just summon one, right? Let me just go to his spell book. Conjure Elemental. Yeah, he's got it. It's a level 5 spell. Is it worth doing? Do you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do it. And we're going to go for a water elemental for Gale. Here we go. Okay, let me just check everybody's definitely hiding. There we go. The elementals are also hiding. Thank you for joining us here today, boys. And yeah, let's go through.
Githyanki. Vlaakith has found us. Get rid of them, quickly.
Okay.
We'll be ready. In the meantime, tear every brick out if you have to. If it doesn't come, we must find evidence of its whereabouts.
I think they're after the Emperor. I think they're like, that's what they're doing. They're like actually after the Emperor. Okay, I'm gonna have me, I'm gonna ungroup. I'm just gonna have Cordia and Lae'zel group up, and we're gonna go and try and talk to this lady. I'm gonna leave my air elemental behind.
Light on my feet.
The reason why I'm doing this, why I'm splitting people up, is if we get drawn into a fight, I might be able to move people into position. Okay. Let's stand up. Hello.
Lae'zel, glad you could join us. The Kithraki have spread word of that artifact that you carry. Tell me, Lae'zel of Kalir, what reward do you think the astral prism will fetch once I pluck it from your corpse and present it to Vlaakith? What honors, what riches will the Undying Queen grant me when I hand her the failed prince?
Stand down. I protect the prism on our queen's behalf.
The Undying Queen cares not for who delivers her the prism and the traitor prince within. All that matters is that it is delivered. The false heir's head will make a fine trophy for Vlaakith. As for you, I will leave nothing behind but meat and shattered bone.
Honestly, Sharai Harak, you're kind of hot. And Lae'zel started off spitting the same bullshit as you, and I reckon we could win you over, you know, with a little bit of time and patience. You know, you could also be a camp companion, but not today because she's quite aggressive and she's not in the mood to talk, I don't think. So we can do an intimidation tactic. That's not going to work because it's not Cordia's method. We can say, Orpheus is the Githyanki's true prince. You will not take him. I think what I would say in this moment is, Lae'zel presented the astral prism to Vlaakith, and she wasn't rewarded. She was attacked. So, what makes you think that she's going to treat you any differently? But I'd give you the artifacts freely, but it isn't possible, because maybe she's going to say this because if we explain the story that we need Orpheus's power to be able to defeat the Absolute, and then we'll hand it over, you know, but the Absolute threatens all of us, so we need to work together in this moment. It could work. She is a cleric, so I don't know. We're going to say this. Listen, Orpheus is the Githyanki's true prince. We have the evidence. I can't let you take him.
Damnable whelp. For 1,000 years I have given my life to Vlaakith. I will deliver to her the Prince of the Comet. She shall exalt me. The Gish will record my great deed in slate. Chamar Zala Vlaakith!
Okay, I had highest initiative. Perfect, and nobody else is in initiative. This is great. This is the best way to do this, guys. Trust me. And also, I like my spellcasters for this. Now, I'm not going to take Cordia's turn yet because she's actually holding everybody in position. What I am going to do, talking about being in position, is I'm going to move people into position. So I'm going to want Gale first. And Gale is going to sneak around. Now, the good thing about him being sneaky already is that I can see where people are looking. And now you can see up on these two sides, there's these portals over here. There's one here and one here. Now we know that the Githyanki come through the portals. So we need to basically take out the gate masters who are keeping these portals open. Otherwise the Githyanki are just going to keep on coming through. I'm going to send Gale. I'm going to send Gale up here. There's 2 people on this side. There's 3 people on this side. So I'm probably going to send Cordia up to where there's 3 because she's a sorceress. She can do 2 spells per turn. With her sorcery points, if she has any left. I don't know if we have any left from like the last episode, but I don't want to make things too easy for myself, you know. I want things to be a bit of a challenge. I could have long rested, but I decided to do it this way. Right, I need to make sure that he doesn't get seen, so I want him to be just up here, and then we're going to go in probably with a level 4 ice storm. Impel a storm of hail and ice to crash from the sky, covering the ground and striking all objects and creatures within range. I also have Fireball, I have Lightning Bolt, but I like cold damage for Gale, and this means that the Githyanki might also slip. So let me target specifically the one holding the gate open. Here we go. Okay, I might also break her concentration. Yes! Okay, I think I broke her concentration. Oh, she's dead! Oh my god, get it, Gale. Okay, 1 portal down. Gale, good job. So next I have Shadowheart and my air elemental and my other elemental. So again, I'm going to ungroup the Raven.
I see a way.
I'm actually going to move Shadowheart over to Lae'zel as backup. So if I get to about here, maybe where Cordia is, and I can do... The first thing I want to do is Guardian of Faith. About here, maybe? So the Lae'zel is in the circle, but it's also, yeah, because she might have to move closer to me, you see. I'm going to put it about here. Okay, turn-based mode. the reason why I went straight into turn-based mode there is that Shadowheart did the spell, and sometimes when you do a spell it draws attention to you and you go into initiative, but she didn't. She was still hidden. So it's like that person just thought that Guardian of Faith came from nowhere. I don't know where that came from. But because she wasn't in initiative, the Guardian of Faith actually only lasts 10 turns. And so if I didn't put her into turn-based mode, the seconds clicking down would mean that that would disappear too quickly. So turn-based mode means that that is fixed now to Shadowheart's turn. The next thing I'm going to go for is level 5 spell slot, or actually level 4 spell slot. And I'm going to do my Spirit Guardians. And that's brought me into initiative. Now this is perfect because Spirit Guardians, I basically want Shadowheart to be back up for Lae'zel. So if the main woman basically, the main boss, if she comes close to Lae'zel now, she's got to deal with the Guardian of Faith and Spirit Guardians, which is just giving us that extra edge to help Lae'zel out, because I want Lae'zel to go for the main woman. Okay. I'm going to hold my air elemental and water elemental back for a hot second.
Can't even catch my breath.
And I'm going to have Cordia now use her turn. And I'm going to have her teleport over here with Misty Step, I think. Yeah, Misty Step. Is she moving? Is she going to get an opportunity attack? I can't see if she's getting an opportunity attack. No, she's okay. Yeah, I'm going to have her come over here. And we're going to try and hit these 3 people with a lightning bolt. I'm also going to go ahead and put a potion of speed down. So split item, 1. I'm going to put a potion of speed directly on the ground in front of me. And I might get an action back because I used my action to Misty Step, you see. So if I put that right in front of me here, I think this person's far enough away that it won't hit them. But I think my lightning bolt is going to break the potion of speed and give me another action per turn. Does that make sense? I was planning on using my sorcery points to be able to cast another big spell as a bonus action, but I've used my bonus action to Misty Step. So now when I use my action to do Lightning Bolt, it might break that potion bottle and give me an extra turn. Anyway, it might make sense when I do it if it's not making sense now. So the highest level I can do this is level 4. Again, my main aim is to break the concentration of Gate Master Zarlak. But I can hit all 3 of them. Okay, didn't break concentration. Unfortunately, didn't break my potion of speed. So I'm going to pick that up to prevent them from using it. Okay, didn't break the concentration, but they've only got 8 hit points remaining. So what I'm going to do now is move my air elemental into position. I reckon I can probably get them all the way up there without being seen. They can teleport, but I want to save my teleport. Like, if I don't need to use it, I'm going to do it this way. So again, I'm playing very slowly. I'm really taking advantage of turn-based mode and this kind of like pausing of time. So it is a little bit cheaty, but this is the way the game is made. This is the mechanics of the game. So God, that makes me jump every time. So I'm not really doing anything that the game doesn't let me do. The highest thing I can do is multi-attack. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and hopefully take this person down. Yes! Portal down! I can also teleport if I want to. Which do I want to do? I could get them into the Spirit Guardians, again, just for some added protection. Or I could keep it up here to keep Cordia safe. I'm going to go over here. Just so they're slightly more out of range. And they're in a kind of a middle position, so I can move them around a little bit better if I want to on my next turn. Okay, strategy. I think we're good. Let's see what happens. 3 of them are going to get a go on us, but let's just see what happens.
Nothing important is ever easy.
I have also got Gale's Water Elemental as backup. Okay. They're going to fire on Cordia. Missed. Ooh. 7 hit points. That's not bad. Okay. Ooh. Okay, I was expecting her to come closer to Lae'zel. Chirai Harak used Conquering Presence on Lae'zel. Exude a terrifying presence that frightens nearby enemies. Lae'zel needs to roll a 17 to save and they rolled a 15. We can try and save again with Indomitable. Okay, she saved. They both saved. Okay. This person's trying to do whole person on Cordia, but she has the free counterspell from her staff. Yeah, okay. Ruin that. And then running away. Of course you are. And then Misty Step closer. That made no sense, but at least they didn't hit me. Okay. Lae'zel's turn. It's Lae'zel's turn, but she ran away. She's squaring up against Gale. I am gonna... Can I disarm her from here? 35% chance of hitting. What I'm actually going to do... Gale, can you take your turn? He can indeed. Okay. I am going to have Gale Misty Step down here to get away... Oh, my tummy's rumbling. To get away from that woman. And to get him into the... just the safety of what I've got going on down here. Like attack of opportunity. I can get him to about here. No, immobile. I know he's immobile, but I can normally Misty Step anyway. Apparently he can't. That feels like a jib. There we go. There we go. I knew he could. Okay, Gale is safe. And I can go ahead and do another one of these ice storms. Immobile frightened. Okay, there we go. Again, if I can make them come to us, I will do. Okay. Shadowheart, just move. There's Gale. This is fine. Actually, move a tiny bit more this way. So Gale's still in Spirit Guardians. Just, there we go. And don't really need to heal too much, do we? Yeah, we're just gonna hang out.
I am fury. I am death.
So Lae'zel, I would like her to just, from a distance. This person's encrusted with frost. Maybe I need to go in with another arrow of ice. Keep layering up those encrusted with frost on it. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna go in with a couple of arrows.
Taste my fury.
Okay, because again, I would love for her to come down here. If not, on the next turn, I'm going to go for her. And when we get close, we're going to action surge. Is there anything else I can do? I could put a hunter's mark on her. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold. Slip, slip, slip. Oh, damn. Counter spell. You're not putting whole person on my Lae'zel. Come on, come closer, come closer. Oh, nice! Go Spirit Guardian. I think that's the first time we've used Spirit Guardian, so that's quite fun. Okay, Cordia. Again, let's go in with a good old lightning bolt. This is what she does. Ciao! One down. Okay, and then we're gonna quicken spell. And I guess we just go again. I could Misty Step over there, but I think we're okay. 1-on-1 now. 15 hit points left. Cordia, you know, you're doing pretty well there, girlie. Okay, let's get the air elemental back involved with the multi-attack. Thank you, air elemental. We've also got, actually, do you know, we haven't even brought the water elemental into this yet. So I might have the water elemental go for this guy. Oh no, he's down. This guy here. Okay, the one that like teleported down. So I'm going to teleport over. What do you mean not enough space? There's plenty of space. And he can't take his turn, but it's okay. Whose turn is it? Alright, there we go. End turn. Okay, what are you going to do? Misty Step, nice. Nice. So basically, whenever anyone does damage to us, the Spirit Guardian goes in. But whatever damage they do to the person is the damage they take. So actually, do you know what? We have seen one of these before in the Githyanki Crash. There was one that was guarding like a sword or something. And so basically it's static, it can't move anywhere. But any damage that's done to us, it will retaliate. But yeah, it takes it off its own health. So it's got 10 hit points remaining. But yeah, it's just done a bit of damage to her. Right, I would love for Lae'zel to finish this one off. So I'm going to have her turn around. And let's try and disarm her. 65% chance. Let's go. Weapon dropped. Yoink. My sword's better than your sword. I've got a silver sword, bitch. You've just got a Githyanki greatsword. And then we can go in with Soulbreaker. Oh, Lae'zel, less missing, please. Let's go in again, just with a normal attack. Okay, 42 hit points remaining. I can also punch her. Ow! Crit. Nice. She's got 27 hit points remaining. I think we're doing okay. Okay. Gale. I think Gale should go after this person. They've got a little bit of beef, haven't they, these two? So, what should I do? I'm probably just going to go in, because if I do anything that's like an ice attack... Oh, do you know, he hasn't used Armour of the Gathis. But if he does anything that's like an ice attack now, it's going to also hit the water elemental, so I don't really want to do that. I think they're, like, slightly resistant, but not fully. Like, it will still do damage, it'll just be reduced damage. So I'm going to go in with Magic Missile. Not bad, Gale. 13 hit points remaining. Again, he can't move, but he's in Spirit Guardian, so he's kind of okay. Alright. Shadowheart, can you edge closer to that person? Good job. And then edge closer to that person. Nice. Okay. And then just make sure Gale is still protected. Perfect. Actually, do you know what? Move over this way a little bit more. Get them a little bit more central in it. And also, do you know what? She can also do something else. So... I need something that won't break her concentration, though. I do like Inflict Wounds. Should we do a high level Inflict Wounds? I'd love Lae'zel to finish this person off, so I think I might just go for that one. But honestly, I think we've got this. Between us, I think we're good. I'm just gonna skip Shadowheart's turn. Counter spell. Okay, no whole person for you. Guardian face, nice. Okay, so it's literally just the main woman that we've got left. So I'm gonna stay where I am. We're all good. I kind of want Lae'zel to finish her. Is that all you've got? Seriously?
I will ascend.
Come on, Lae'zel. You've got this, girly. Oh my god. Are we just missing and missing and missing? No!
Blackhead is relentless. You handled it well. Let us hope she exhausts her forces soon.
Wondering how, like, sweaty my armpits are there. Just flashing you my sweaty pits.
Now search the room. There's a statue that conceals the way through. I'll reveal it to you.
Okay, so we are actually, in fact, in... So, again, just to recap, just in case you're like, what the hell is going on? Because I know Act 3 is, like, so overwhelming. Shadowheart's ready to go back to the back upstairs, back to bed. So the Githyanki, Vlaakith is after the astral prism because Orpheus is inside. Orpheus is the true heir of Mother Gith, who is basically, Orpheus is the rightful ruler of the Githyanki, and Vlaakith is a usurper. Vlaakith is definitely evil. We don't like her. So we want to basically, or Lae'zel wants to free Orpheus, the true heir of the Githyanki throne, to lead the Githyanki against Vlaakith. Like, this is Lae'zel's whole dealio now. So the Githyanki that we're here on behalf of Vlaakith, trying to recover the artifact and the Orpheus inside so that they can kill Orpheus and not have her, like, him be a threat to Vlaakith anymore. So that's what was going on with the Githyanki. They were here because I guess they knew that they followed the lead with, like, the Emperor. So the Emperor is like the guy inside the astral prison with Orpheus. He's the, what they call the Mind Flayer guy who's protecting us. We're working with him to defeat the Absolute and Gortash and Orin. This was the Emperor's hideout. So basically Vlaakith and her team of brainwashed Githyanki have followed the trail of the Emperor back to his hideout. That's what they were doing here. Gosh, that was complicated. And so, yeah, let's investigate the Emperor's hideout a little bit. Record. So remember as well, Cordia she was really annoyed with the Emperor because she genuinely thought that her goddess Ilisteri was visiting her in her dreams, but the Emperor was just being whatever she wanted him to be in order to get close to her. Basically, he manipulated her. So she was really angry because she was like, that's a shitty thing to do, to pretend to be my god in order to get close to me. But, you know, Cordia softens a lot to people over time, and she's kind of thinking, well, we are working together. He is protecting us. He's stopping us from being Githyanki. I don't agree with his method. I don't agree with the fact that he's got Orpheus in, you know, in chains. But maybe she can talk him around. Maybe they can reach an agreement, and they do need to defeat the Absolute, which is a major threat. So she's kind of like, I can see his motives. I don't like his methods. Maybe we can work something out here. You know, we're kind of friends. Record of operations in Neverwinter. That's why my D&D campaign currently is. They're on an excursion to Neverwinter. A ledger documenting the dates of every sabotage operation in Neverwinter and the code names of the Knights of the Shield agent involved. Okay. Interesting. What's going on with these Githyanki? Oh, what just happened? Why did I have like the turn thingy? I'm just going to send this stuff to camp. It's not really any use to us now. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and forward all this to camp. Anything else around as well? There's some notes here on this board. Note to all Knights of the Shield members. So this is the headquarters of the Knights of the Shield. Okay. I think the Emperor did tell us that he was running the Knights of the Shield with Stelmane, so again, just there's so much information. Please find within our latest intelligence on the city's lockdown and alternative smuggling routes to the upper city. Take note and destroy after reading. The rest of the note appears to have been torn off. Okay. Investment opportunities. A ledger of potential investment leads in Kalisham. Raven Shipyards buy, Kelter and Kettle buy, Kalimport sell, Manashka Best steer clear for now, Memnon Seafood buy, Teshbil sell. So they kind of like a group of powerful people who are influencing politics. They're kind of like a shadow politics, I guess. So definitely interested in investments and money and the movement of trade. Yeah, they're basically a bit of a power behind the throne situation, the Knights of the Shield, it seems.
At the ready.
And again, I think they do kind of have their own self-interest. You know, they're not entirely good. They definitely have the people that they're working with and the people that they're not working with. Again, Baldur's Gate has a lot of these kind of like groups with self-interest. You know, you've got the Zentrum, who are a mercantile group. You've got the Who else as well? You've got the guild, who are all like the criminal underbelly. You've got the fists, who are like the overt law enforcement. You've got the Knights of the Shield, who are kind of like a background shadow society. Yeah, a lot of balls in the air basically in Baldur's Gate. And they all obviously have their own people that they back. They all have their own agenda, their own interests. This document serves as your official order from the Knights of the Shield to undertake a critical mission in Toarie. The success of this mission depends on your ability to execute your duties with utmost precision, discretion, and loyalty to the Knights of the Shield. The primary objective is to gather intelligence on rumours of an uprising in the court of Queen Rhindorn in Daroma, Toarie. The rumours of this intelligence will be the safeguarding of our trade relationships in the region. Yeah, so they're kind of like the Zentrum, they do a lot of trade. Meet our members of the Order of this, because it's money, right? And meet with the members of the Order of the Silver Chalice at your discretion, but be aware that their allegiances may not be as they appear, okay? Again, I think there might be some stuff going on from like previous games here. Location of reserve supplies. For night's use only, do not redistribute. Buried behind the counting house, path to Baldur's Gate near the upper city. Okay, so we can look into that. Mahogany wardrobe. Okay, so we've got the hewn mausoleum key. I guess we could go in poking around some mausoleums. And some nice outfits as well. I'm a bit sad because we had like, you know, some of the sexier outfits when I checked this kind of testing off camera. Right, what do you have on you? Hairpack. She has some boots of psionic movement. When a Githyanki casts Fly, their next melee weapon attack deals an additional 1d4 psychic damage. Also has a dexterity saving throws +1. Githborn flying boots. When not atop their dragons, Gith are not particularly airworthy. This is probably for the best. The imposition of downward gravity tends to put most people in a mood. Okay. We'll send those to Lae'zel because obviously she's the person that needs to use them. And yeah, let's keep exploring here. So yeah, definitely finding out more about the Emperor and the kind of shenanigans that he was up to. I don't mind stealing his carafe of wine and his Armenian desert wine. Don't mind if I do, Emperor. Share and share alike. Share with the team. On the inevitable... now this is telling. On the inevitability of moral decay and its benefits. A lengthy essay on the inevitability of moral decay and the opportunities it presents and the ways to capitalize upon them. Introduction, Chapter 1, Morality is not absolute. Again, I've got a humanities degree, so I understand the philosophy behind the idea of morality being not a fixed thing, right? Like, cultures create their own morality. One culture might have a different idea of what is right than another. Yeah. Chapter 2, Why moral decay is not immoral. Chapter 3, One man's decline is another man's gain. I guess chaos is a ladder, you know. Chapter 4, Those who play and those who make the rules. Chapter 5, How to win the game. Do you know who would like this? Monthara would like this book. I'm going to send that to Monthara. Where is she? There she goes. That sounds like a philosophy that she could get behind. You know, morals aren't important. Getting the job done is important. But yeah, that is quite telling about the Emperor. To silence. The following individuals are a threat to our operations and need to be silenced. So are they actually any better than the Absolute, right? They're basically doing the same thing. Lilitharian of House Alibaka, Erith of House Nashivar, Carburant of House Selimchant, Renthorf the Putrid of the Cowled Wizards, Lord Heketh, that name sounds familiar, Harbour Master Peterson. Well, do you know what? I've got my own list. Dirge might be investigating that other list, but we've got our own people to investigate. Inroads by arms dealer Gortash. Okay, 9 Fingers. So this is from Bursa Uktar to 9 Fingers. 9 Fingers Keen, the head of the guild, the criminal underbelly. Here follows a report on the inroad upstart smuggler Enver Gortash has been making on the illicit arms trade in the Chonthar Valley through inroads badly Though inroads badly understates the case, annexation would be more apt. The former black market leaders, the Knights of the Shield, right, there you go. So they were black market traders. So very similar to the Zentrum, right? It's kind of like everybody's all doing the same thing. So there's no good or bad. It's just which group are you allied with. Outside the city, the Zentrum have largely been supplanted by Gortash's operation. So we did find out that the reason why Stalemain had been killed was because the amount of protection that the guild was able to offer, the Knights of the Shield was able to offer, was dwindling because they were losing power. And they were losing power because they were losing their trade, right? They were losing their like material power, their capital. They've been largely, illegal arms have never been a major component of the guild's business, but given his apparent ambitions, it would be unwise to assume that Gortash will stop there. He bears watching closely. So the guild are like, okay, we've seen him taking over all these like mercantile groups and like taking over their trade. He's probably going to be coming for our group next. Okay, again, I think I might pick that up. Right, I think I've got everything that was kind of interesting to read. Ledger of Waterdeep's debts. Did I read that? Where was that? Yeah, I think I read that, right? For favours, start at the top in order of descending importance. A ledger of debts from high-ranking officials in Waterdeep, annotated with handwritten comment. Okay, yeah. So they're no better than the other people, basically. It sounds like.
That might be worth a look.
So, I guess the Emperor was doing exactly what Gortash had done, right? He was trying to gain power and influence through trade routes, and he was not unwilling to kind of like silence his enemies. Yeah, it's not even a better the devil you know, really.
My old home. Thank you for bringing me back. Look around. You'll find some of my things still intact, perhaps even useful.
Okay, so we are in the lair of the beast pretty much now. Like, we're in Mind Flayer HQ. Scroll of Otiluk's Freezing Sphere. I guess we'll take it. That sounds like a good spell for Gale.
That might be worth a look.
Oh, got perception successful all over the place here. Unique shell.
A shell. A keepsake from my final voyage. Pinched in a moment of sentimentality.
Yoink. You're not the only person who can pinch stuff around here. Shadowheart likes seashells and stuff. I'm gonna send that to her. Shadowheart, here you go. Okay, the wardrobe. Are we gonna get some fancy clothes?
My old wardrobe. The home of all my disguises. We are what we appear to be, and so appearances matter.
We are what we appear to be, and so appearances matter. I guess that means people believe the perception they have on us. So if I show up wearing a suit and say I'm a businesswoman, you're going to believe I'm a businesswoman. If I show up wearing scruffy old clothes and I say that I'm homeless, you're going to believe that I'm homeless because you're judging me based on my appearances. I'm not saying that you specifically, you the viewer, judge people based on their appearances, but like he's making the point that people do, right? It's kind of like fake it till you make it, I guess. Gale is ready. He's like, show me the clothes. So we have this quite exquisite like outfit here. It's heavy armor, so I don't really know who would wear this. Armor class of 18, frightened immunity, you can't be frightened. If the wearer is infested by a Mind Flayer tadpole, they gain a +1 to intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. That's pretty decent. Does give you disadvantage on stealth checks, with it being heavy armor. We also have cerebral citadel gloves. Illithid euphoria, charm or frighten a creature to gain a 1d4 bonus to attack rolls and saving throws. I don't really know who's going to wear this. The taut violet leather is drier than snakeskin and puckered at each knuckle with shallow mouth-shaped pits. The little tentacle engravings are a nice touch. Yeah, I'm going to take them. I don't know who's going to wear these things, but I don't know. Where's Ifbank? Pwah! I thought the Emperor had taste.
Something over there.
Notes on Mind Flayer anatomy. Insights gleaned from research. Mind flayers must consume the brains of humanoids in order to stay alive. It is said that the act of devouring a humanoid brain results in a state of euphoria, so it's like a drug, and contributes to the thin glaze of mucus that coats a mind flayer's skin. Some researchers go as far as to claim that it is possible to deduce how recently another mind flayer fed, and indeed the health of its victim, from the viscosity of that mucus. Little is known about what a mind flayer's brain contains. Some have argued that the skulls are filled with eggs, sexy, that will later become the tadpoles with which they enthrall their victims. Others propose that the brain is in fact a cluster of pure cerebral nerves. Since mind flayers procreate by tadpoling humanoids, they technically have no need of genitals, but I have been unable to verify this in the absence of any written record. This is foreshadowing. I'm just warning you now of where this episode might go. A butterfork?
My cutlery set. A gift from my mother. The butter knife is missing, but otherwise it looks to be complete. I don't need it anymore, but the memory stirs something in me still.
I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna take it. If it's important to him, Cordia would be like, okay, I'll give it to you next time I see you, you know? Nothing in the desk. There's this picture of Stelmane though.
There she is, in all her glory. Jubelin Stelmane, my old partner.
Okay, maybe we'll get more information on that in the next episode. Oh, what was that? Is my computer okay? Oh no! Oh no! Okay, my recording just stopped, so hopefully the video is not corrupted. That means I'm gonna have to delete something, but what am I gonna delete to get more space to continue? I can delete I can delete last week's episode. There we go. Okay. This is gonna take me a minute. I was worried about losing space. Okay, start recording. 3, 2, 1. I'm recording. Okay, I guess you get to see my whole process now then. So menu 3, 2, 1. Resume 3, 2, 1. Menu 3, 2, 1. Resume 3, 2, 1. That's so I can track up my camera with my my game recording, because I record the two pieces of footage separately and then edit them in together later. So you're seeing a little bit of my behind the scenes troubles now. There's this sword here as well, Sword of the Emperor. So warm.
My old sword. My first purchase as an adventurer. No use to me anymore. It's yours, if you want it.
Don't mind if I do. Let's have a look at this thing. Sword of the Emperor, Shapeshifter Slayer. I know who's going to make use of that. Like, Dirge might use that against Orin. This weapon deals an additional 1d4 damage against shapeshifters or polymorph creatures. So also good for, like, any shapeshifters from the Cult of Baal, right? The wielder has a +2 bonus to saving throws against spells. So I don't know who's going to use this, actually. It's a long sword. I'll keep hold of it and I'll have a think about that, because basically anyone can use that against the shapeshifters. So good to have. Right, what else do we have in here? What else are you hiding down here, you kinky beast? Dog collar.
Rascal's collar. My poor four-legged friend. Their lives are so brief, so simple, and yet full.
I am inferring stuff from that, and what I'm inferring is that he loved his dog because dogs are obedient, because he likes being in control, right? So he liked the dog because the dog was loyal, did what it was told, but also he called it simple, right? Its life was simple. So he's almost like looking down on it, right? It's like it's a lesser being to him. That's what I read from that situation.
That might be worth a look.
What's worth a look? What do you mean? If I put that on, is something going to happen? Oh god, I don't want to put the dog collar on. Is this a situation where it's like something will happen if I wear the collar? I actually don't know.
That's curious.
I'm going to take it off again soon though. Recipe for fiddlehead soup.
A recipe for fiddlehead soup. A favourite meal of mine. When I had need of meals like that.
Okay. Do we want to make some fiddlehead soup in real life, guys? Possibly. Let's take it. An empty brain jar.
An old container for brains. Empty. Shame. It would have been nice to find one to sustain me now.
Yeah, me reading the inference, it's like... reminding you that he is dangerous, you know?
Something over there.
The chains I used to bind my meals. Villains and lawbreakers. You see, I tried to exercise morality where I could.
I mean, I can't judge because literally propping up my light here, I've got this set of Dexter books. And if you know anything about Dexter, his whole thing was like, I think it was his stepdad, was a police officer, and he was really frustrated with criminals getting off, right? Like, so people had done like terrible things, but they'd like play the court system and get released and then continue to do the same horrible, terrible things. And so the police officer, his stepdad, was really mad about this. And so when he realized that Dexter had certain proclivities to also not being nice, he raised him in a way where he gave him a set of rules, and he said, okay, so I know that you have these urges, like the Dark Urge, right? But a bit like, I think Astarion says this to the Dark Urge at one point, or Gale, right near the beginning, where they basically say, okay, we're going to aim you at the bad guys, right? You know, we understand that you can't stop doing what you're doing, but, you know, let's take out the people who are doing bad things to good people. You know, it's kind of like the monster versus the monster kind of thing. So it's a good premise for storytelling, I would say. But, you know, the problem that I have with this is the person deciding who's a criminal or a vagabond or whatever he called them. Like, I mean, that just means a homeless person, right? A vagabond. Like, I can't remember the language he used, but I think he used that word. But, like, who's deciding whether someone is good or bad but the person who's doing it, right? So he's judge, jury, and executioner. And so it could be that some of the people he's killing are just people who are desperate through no fault of their own, and like he's like, oh, but you're the criminal, so I get to eat your brain now. And it's like, I stole a piece of bread to feed my starving family because your Knights of the Guild have been, your Knights of, what are they, Knights of the Shield, have been, you know, ruining the food supplies or creating a food shortage. It's your fault that I'm desperate in the first place. All I want to do is be able to eat. And he's like, naughty, naughty, shouldn't have stole that bread, you know. So it's kind of like, there is something very shifty about that, you know. Is he really, really that believable? I think Cordia would, she's a very optimistic person. She believes the best in people. I think she would want to believe that he's a good person, but she'd have that nagging sense of doubt. So if we go in here, there's not really anything in here. Although, more if bank. Oh, honestly, why do you... I thought you'd have something of better quality, sir. There is a trapdoor. I'm not interested in going down into, like, the underbelly, like the sewers yet. I'm going to kind of work towards that later. But I think we've got everything out of this room. I don't know why I'm wearing the dog collar. I'm going to keep it on for a little while just to see if I get any unique dialogue or anything with the Emperor as we kind of run around. What if I like run around the outskirts? Because if you think all the way back to Act 2, there's like a special button that you can press if you wear the dog collar that gives you like food. So I'm wondering if there's like something that opens up. I guess not. I don't know. Let me know. If I'm missing anything, do let me know. We've also got these as well that we can have a look at. Nice. And this here as well. And do you know what? I want to go and tell the cats that we've solved the rat problem. And you know what? This would make a really nice room for the customers of the Elf Song. You know, if they need more space and they want a room that's like really fancy, you know, so they can upsell to the people who can afford it. You know, like they could like totally hire out that room for like events and parties and stuff. It's a nice room. But yeah, I'm gonna go and speak to the cats because I love cats. And maybe see if we can convince Chef Rover that he needs to take this threat seriously. And then we're going to long rest. And maybe something's going to happen before the episode's through.
This time, would you believe it?
Where are the cats, though? Cats are the priority.
Don't think I've had.
Here's one. No, you're the bird.
I need a quick word.
Back again? We're trying to relax here. Kill those rats, would you? When they're dead, the other servants will feed us.
Well, I did kill the rats. Okay, apparently they don't recognise the fact. Can I tell Chef Rover that I've killed the rats?
You kill the rats, yes? I heard commotion in the cellar. Good. Perfect. Here, you take this. And do not worry. Chef Revere's eyes will be kept most peeled for murderous knaves.
Very good. Because it is a serious threat, you realise.
Just lying around, you furry chunkers.
I love cats. I love cats so much. Okay, will they say anything now that I'm...
Yeah, the servant ape. Hello again.
You do know I'm not actually an ape. I'm not a monkey, I'm a drow. Did they say anything now that I've kind of completed the quest? Where's that other one gone? Sorry, I'm distracted by the cats. Indulge me. I don't know where the other one is. Okay, I guess we'll never know. Sad times. Okay, let's go back to camp and let's finish this episode on a bit of a high, possibly? Question mark? Yeah, I think I'm just heading to bed. I don't think anyone has anything to say about any of this business. I mean, I can double check Lae'zel, but I think she's just kind of like, standard behaviour.
Voss stands at the ready. All that remains is to return to the astral prism and break Orpheus free. How we get in remains to be seen.
Oh, so she did have something to say. Okay, good, nice. Mizora wants to talk.
Let's move.
But...
Best be on my way. Something's
I think
on
she's
my
just
mind.
a bit broken.
Something on your mind?
You know exactly what's on my
So
mind.
we've seen this. I'm just going to skip this to get through it. Okay, I just wanted to run through a dialogue because she seems a bit stuck in it. So I don't know if she's glitching out slightly. Okay, Dirge, go and stand with Scratch. Cordia, come to bed.
Blood whispers.
Come on, long rest. I need to finish this episode. I'm too warm. End the day. Yes, end the day. Okay, Mizora, do you want to talk again? No, she's okay. All right. Let's just sleep. I don't think anyone does want to talk, do they? I don't think we've got any exclamation marks. We're all good. Okay. Sleep. Finally. It's been a long day. Do you know what? We should probably take some of this like soup and stew out to the people who are hungry. But maybe we can do that in the next episode. Okay. Full rest. Okay. I was meant to save.
They say that home is where a person can be their truest selves, without guile, without pretense. You did well to see off the Githyanki who had invaded mine. And now that you have seen where I come from, you know all there is to know about me. At least, all that matters. The flavors of my favorite fiddlehead soup, should you wish to experience it for yourself.
Am I still wearing the dog collar?
My beloved confidant and loyal companion Rascal. The very first reward I gifted myself on completion of my first adventure. The garments with which I concealed and later constructed my appearance as the Emperor. We spoke of my relationship with Duke Berlin Stelmane, a story I have told no one else.
Apart from
I have no more secrets from you. No need to resort to subterfuge. We are true allies now. working towards a common goal.
It's all sweet and innocent. And she knows when people are flirting, and she's like, is he flirting? And again, she's very kind, so he's seems to be opening up to her, and she's like, look, you don't have to lie to me, you can trust me. So she's gonna say, and I'm just gonna quickly save because I need this for like the next episode. So she's gonna say, you led an exciting life. Why did you conceal it from me?
By necessity, not design. But I'm glad you appreciate the richness of my experience. Yours has been no less exciting, but even with all your experience, it has not been easy. The only way we were ever going to get close enough to the brain to destroy it was by working together. But few would trust a mind flare. So I did what I had to convince you. I studied you, your motivations, your actions, your desires. I deduced the best way to align your goals with my own.
By pretending to be my goddess, that was a step too far, to be honest. You should have been open with me from the start.
Perhaps. But I couldn't take the risk. An elder brain leaves no room for error. I needed your absolute dedication to the cause. I anticipated the challenge, and I anticipated your resistance. What I didn't anticipate was how much I would enjoy your company, your mind.
Well, I hope you don't enjoy my mind too much, sir. Is that a threat?
Sometimes, I felt almost like we were dancing our way towards something deeper.
So, he is trying to flirt with us. This is a potential woohoo scene for those of you who enjoy tentacles, I guess. Let me tell you a story though. My first playthrough, and I got this scene, and again, I was doing something where I was kind of like trying to keep all the big bad guys on side, right? I was trying to play everybody off against each other by acting like I was on their side, and then like I got into this situation and I panicked. So if I can find my messages, I'll pop them up on the screen of me just sheer panic in this moment. And I was like, I don't know what to do, because I was like, I feel like if I almost feel like if I say no, he's gonna kill me, right? And I was like, and I need to keep up this pretense that I believe him, you know, because I was like, he's manipulating me, I'm manipulating him right back. And by this point, I'd also signed Raphael's deal. I was like making all sorts of messes. So yeah, I did it, not because I wanted to, but because I was like, I need this guy to think that I'm into it. And it was like, and I was just genuinely like, oh my god, it's quite disturbing unless you're into that sort of thing. But then when you finish, like some of the companions stumble in and like react, like see you doing this and they react, and like Halcyon is so funny. He was kind of like so I'm not planning on woohooing the Emperor in this playthrough. I'm sorry to those of you who wanted to see it, but again, I'm role-playing. Cordia wouldn't. She's got companions, she's got people that she enjoys being with. This guy pretended to be her goddess and has been manipulating her this entire time. She's like, okay, I wouldn't exactly call us friends, but we are allies, you know, we do have the same objective of bringing down the Absolute. So she wants to be friendly, but she doesn't want to romance him. And Dirge hates him. So for those of you who were looking forward to a little bit of tentacle play, this is not the playthrough for that. I think she'd go, she'd have that sudden realization, it'd click, and she'd go, you're trying to flirt with me now?
Would you like that?
No, this feels quite unexpected.
Is it? We have experienced much together. Consider this an opportunity for further mutual exploration. Do you wish it?
It's the teeth. Oh, it's the teeth. I'm not stopping you. Well, I'd rather we stick to business. This glitched as well. When I was like playtesting off camera, this scene glitched and I didn't have options here. It just said continue. I was like, continue with what? Continue with what? But it did let me back out, thankfully. I was really worried about this. But I'd rather we stick to business.
Good instinct. The Elder Brain's hive mind has grown to monstrous proportions. And through the Crown's magic, it has complete control over each and every member. It was intelligent before, but now, with its hive mind established across the city, it is well on its way to becoming indestructible. You should reconsider your attachment to your physical form. You have seen what an Illithid can do. Imagine some of that could be in your grasp. Not enough to warp your appearance beyond recognition, but just enough to enhance your potential. And believe me, it will radically increase our chances of success against the Elder Brain. Think on it.
As you drift into sleep, you feel a certain disappointment. The Mind Flayer was very quick to abandon its attentions on you.
Disappointed. Okay, I'm gonna stop. We're gonna have Dirge in the next video. So things to talk about. The way he was flirting with us and then we said no and he was like, good instincts. That makes me think that he was just manipulating us because he's not actually attracted to us. He admitted that. He said, oh, your physical form, you should consider becoming an Illithid. So it's kind of like, I'm not attracted to what you are. I think Illithids are the attractive thing and that's what you should be. So it's not like he was doing it because he wanted us. He was just manipulating us. He was like, you know, Starring at the beginning where he basically admits he was just using us for protection. He was like, yeah, I was letting you romance me because I wanted to, you know, you to be hooked on me and keep me safe. It's the same thing. So yeah, my instincts were good. Not in my first playthrough, but here he did respect that I said no because it was a manipulation tactic. Do I have anything else that I wanted to say about that? I feel like there was, but I've forgotten what it was. No, I think we're pretty good there. That thing is all about being disappointed. I feel like he was manipulating us into wanting him. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to say was, if you do romance him, he says to you, do you want me to keep my tentacly form or do you want me to revert back to the dream guardian that you created in the beginning? So you can like woohoo what appears to be your dream guardian. Again, that would have been weird because her dream guardian was intended to be the goddess Elistere. Obviously it wasn't, it never was, it was always him, like being basically shape-shifting and being the thing that we're fighting. So yeah, the more I play, the less I like the Emperor. The Emperor is kind of bad, definitely a bit of a control freak. I was wondering if I had the collar on, if you'd say anything about that, if you'd have like an extra comment to be like kinky, you know, but apparently not. I don't know what that extra little like thing was when we picked up the collar. Like there was something more to it. So if you do know, let me know in the comments. In the next video, we're going to see what Dirge has to say to the Emperor in that moment and maybe find out a bit more about his relationship with Duke Stelmane. Yeah, what are we gonna do in the next video? I think we need to go and check back in with the Flaming Fist headquarters, see if we can find Devella and update her on the list of murder targets that, you know, we've saved Cora, we've investigated the pear tree, Chef Rover's safe, and we've met Dolor and he's moving on to the next victims. So we need to probably go and check in with Devella. Also, if we go and see Fist Portier and look for this lady. So in the last video we encountered the hags and we found out that the hag in Baldur's Gate has stolen, which is probably Auntie Ethel again, she's stolen another child that we need to go and rescue, and the mother of the child is trying to get help from the Flaming Fist. So we're probably going to go in that direction in the next video, because it's kind of like a 2-in-1 meeting point, and potentially see where we go from there. I'm thinking probably continue investigating the hag, but I'll kind of decide off camera and we'll see where we go. So thank you for watching, as always. Thank you as well, because my views are up at the moment on Baldur's Gate, which I appreciate you guys watching me so much. Thank you so much, because I love this game and I love sharing things that I love with you guys. And I do think that a lot of people get to Act 3 and get very overwhelmed and kind of miss a lot of things, or just don't understand what's happening, because that's what I was like in my first playthrough. I was like just bouncing around like a ball in a ping pong machine and pinball machine, and yeah, I was kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just experiencing things, but I've kind of mastered it now. So yeah, hopefully I can show you all the things and the way that I think is the best way to handle Act 3, and if you need a little bit of guidance with that, hopefully this is helpful to you as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Thank you to your faces as always. Take care of yourselves, have a good week, friends, and I will see you again soon. Bye.
I'm about to go off like a weapon, fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession, I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex, haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation. They call me Is this part of the show? Praise the absolute.